You're watching. He's maybe a block from where I am right now. We're going to see him walking down Pennsylvania Avenue. And if you're watching from home wondering why it's taking so long for him to get out and make this walk, it's because they're not going to take any chances. President Joe Biden is now the most powerful person on the planet, George.
Mary Bruce, he's walking towards you.
George, he is headed this way. I can see him holding the now First Lady's hand. I have to tell you, as we've been waiting here, as they deliberated whether or not he would get out of the car, I was struck by just how quiet it was. You know, I've been along this parade route for inaugurations in the past, and it's just night and day. I also keep thinking, you know, anyone who's been to a Joe Biden event knows he loves to work a rope line. He will shake every hand, kiss every baby. If we were not in a pandemic, a President Biden working a parade route, it could take the bulk of his first week in office. So I know that this is a moment that he must be enjoying and savoring, but also bittersweet because he can't have those kind of interactions. We see him coming up now, also, of course, with other members of his family, his beloved granddaughters, his daughter, his looking to see if, I believe his son Hunter is there as well. He's giving us a wave. Here he comes.
Is he going to get close enough to ask a question, Mary?
We're going to see. We're going to see here, George. Congratulations, Mr. President. How does it feel to finally be president? What comes first, Mr. President?
Well, nice try, Mary. You got a thumbs up.
I'll take what I can get.
Oh, wait a second.
Here he comes.
I know. How does it feel, Mr. President? Feels great. Feels good.
George says it feels good. It feels good. A fist bump there for some of the other reporters. You know, thumbs up from the president. Greeting the few of us reporters over here. Certainly seems to be enjoying the moment. I will tell you that. No.
That was also, David, your vintage Joe Biden.
Oh, certainly was, and we made that point over and over again today. His connection with people, that was one of the things that you even saw at the Democratic Convention. They didn't have to do very much work when it came to his biography interaction with everyday Americans around this country, because that is who he is. He lives and breathes that and has done that in his more than 30 years in public office. One of the things, though, I take note of as they do this walk, they're interacting with reporters and some of the guardsmen who are keeping them safe along the route. That's atypical, not seeing these Americans line up as they do every 4 years. Also, though, what they've done here is a sea change, the Biden family, by just simply wearing masks. Their effort to depoliticize the mask in this country as we now enter this new chapter. None of them seem bothered by the mask. It's what millions of Americans are doing every day in their lives, too. Americans are exhausted by the pandemic, but as we heard from the new president today, we have to prepare for this next chapter and fight this fight.
George, yeah. You got a little bit of it. No question about it. He's going to also come as close. He did about as well as Mary did. He's hello right there. But yes, they believe, backed by science, that if more Americans wear masks every single day, we will see a shorter pandemic. Was it? That was the D.C. Mayor, Lindsay?
It looks like Mayor Bowser.
Quick hello from Mayor Bowser right there.
Hugh's daughter, Ashley. Real quick, George, I always find this fascinating that as they're doing this parade route, the work that's being done by the loyal workers within that White House to change this over, to clean it after the pandemic, a deep cleaning after the outgoing administration. One of the big questions, we mentioned this, it seems like days ago, but it was just this morning, about who will welcome the Bidens once they get to the White House. There are reports it'll be an usher that had been hired by Melania Trump. We'll wait and see who actually
Used to work in the Trump organization. That's right. The usher would be the most logical person to greet them at this point. Now in charge of the entire White House resident. The entire White House turned over in the space of about 5 hours. Today it will be made for the living quarters for the Biden family, the upstairs living quarters. The Biden team has said he's not going to change the Oval Office. The priority is not going to be redecorating at this point. They have much more important work to do. As we see the president enter West Executive Avenue, walking into the White House complex itself, the avenue that divides the old executive office building from the West Wing, and those cramped quarters flags on the avenue today. It's the city of Vegas. We were talking about this before. Those cram quarters already filled by White House staffers for President Biden. So many veterans of the Obama and Clinton administration.
He's bringing a lot of familiar faces. The press secretary, Jen Psaki. A lot of people know her from her work in the White House, the State Department. She's a television contributor, and many more. Mary and I went down swinging, George. We were shouting those questions here. You'd asked if that was Mayor Bowser. That was right below me, and she is. That was her. But I want to say, just to give folks a sense of what's happening right now and where the president is, that driveway that you see him walking past, that's where you see John and I every morning and every evening on World News and Good Morning America doing our live shots. So that's this place where the reporters stand and do our TV hits, and then he's going to go inside.